Hello, this is Patricia from patriciafenty.com, and today I'm going to show you how to crochet a snowflake. I'm doing a series of these 3 different patterns, and today I'm going to show you how to crochet this one. And these snowflakes do require a bit of crochet experience. I do have a beginner crochet series that shows you all the stitches that you need to know to create this pattern. It is basically a single crochet, a double crochet, a chain stitch, and I'll be showing you how to do the picot stitch. And so let's talk supplies. Now for this project, what you will need is a number 3 cotton thread. I'm using a cream color. You could use any color you like. You could also use the number 10 cotton thread, but you'd have to use a smaller crochet hook for that. For this one, I'm using a 2.5 millimeter or a B1 crochet hook. You'll need a darning needle and some scissors. We are going to be starching this as well, so I will give you a link to that later on. So you want to have a tail that is about 10 or 12 inches long, and you'll start by doing 5 wraps around your small finger. And if you're using the number 10 thread, you want to do 7 wraps. And that's 5, and then you just pull that off your small finger and then just flip it over so that your tail is to the right. And this is the most awkward part, so you just want to hold on to that really well and bring your yarn up and put your hook through the ring and grab your yarn from behind and pull that through the ring and in any way you can. There we go. And then do a chain stitch to secure that on. Now you'll do a chain 3, and this counts as your first double crochet. And then you'll do a double crochet into the ring, and then another double crochet into the ring. And this completes your first cluster. Now you'll chain 9. And there's 9, and work a set of 3 double crochets into your ring. And this is what I mean by, if you're new to crochet, working with a small thread can just be a little bit awkward if you're not used to crocheting. So just push that over to the right and then chain 9 again. Just speeding this up. And then you'll repeat that, a set of 3 double crochets, chain 9, 6 more times, so you have a total of 8 clusters and chain 9s. Now coming to the end of row 1, I have my last set of 3 double crochets and chain 9, and you'll join this round by doing a slip stitch into the 3rd chain of your beginning chain 3. And I like to go into the top loop and the back loop when I'm joining a round, but that's totally up to you. So you're just going to do a slip stitch through those 2 stitches and the one that's on your hook. There we go. And that's the end of round 1. Now as we work around, you want to make sure to keep these chain stitches flat and facing up. So you want the top part of the chain to be facing up. You don't want these to be twisted around. So for round 2, you'll do a single crochet into that next double crochet. You joined into the chain 3, so going into the top of that middle double crochet from that first cluster, going under both loops, you'll do a single crochet. Just like that. Then chain 4. And then going into your chain 9 space, into the top of that chain 9 space, you'll work a single crochet. And this is where you want to make sure to keep all your work facing up. Then you want to chain 4. Just get a little yarn here. So there's the chain 4, and then you have your set of 3 double crochets. So you're going to come down into the middle double crochet and going under both loops, you'll do a single crochet. And then chain 4. And then coming into your chain 9 space, you'll work a single crochet at the top of that chain 9 space. And then chain 4. And then come down into your next cluster, working into the middle stitch of your next cluster with a single crochet. And so you'll just repeat that pattern all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of this row. So I've just done my single crochet into the chain 9 space and my chain 4, and coming to the end of row 2, we're going to end row 2 and begin row 3 with the same stitch. So you're actually going to join by doing a single crochet into the single crochet from that previous row, going under both loops, and you'll join on with a single crochet. So that ends row 2 and begins row 3. Now you'll chain 5, and then working into the top of the single crochet from the previous row at the top of your chain 9 loop, going under both stitches, you'll do a single crochet. Now we're going to work a picot, so chain 3, and then you'll come back down into that single crochet and going under those 2 front posts of the single crochet. See, there's 2 posts at the front of that single crochet. You go under both those posts and do a slip stitch. And you've created your first picot. Then you'll chain 5. And you'll come down into that single crochet from the previous row with a single crochet and going under both loops. And then chain 5. And then working into that single crochet from the previous row, you'll work another single crochet, going under both loops. There we go. And then work your picot with a chain 3. And then coming down into the front 2 posts of that single crochet, going under both posts, and you'll do a slip stitch. And then chain 5. And then work a single crochet down into that single crochet from the previous row. So you're just going to repeat that pattern all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of this row. And again, you're wanting to keep all your stitches facing up, making sure you're not twisting your chain stitches around. So go ahead and do that. All right, so coming to the end of row 3, I've just done my last picot and chain 5. And then we'll just finish off by doing a slip stitch into the top of that single crochet from the previous, or from the beginning of this row. And then you just want to leave yourself a nice size tail so that we can make a little hangy loop. So cut a bit off like that and pull that through and snug that up. And so you want to darn in your tail end here. And if you've seen my previous tutorial and you know how to make a loop, you can just skip to the next part. And what you want to do with this pattern in particular, I would either wash it by hand, lay it flat to dry, and shape it so that you have a nice shape before you actually starch it. And you want to even your stitches out and center your picots. If you have a hand steamer, you can use the hand steamer to sort of shape this. And this one's a little bit fussy. You have to work with it a bit to create a nice shape. So go ahead and do that. And next I'll show you how to sew in the hanger. There, so I just gave that a little press with my hand steamer, and you can see how nicely that shaped the snowflake. So I have my darning needle on here, and I've darned in my tail end. So I'm just going to bring the thread in through the back and just make a little bit secure there. And then I'm going to come over to the other side here and bring the thread through that way. And you want to make sure that the thread doesn't have a twist in it. It can get twisted, and see how that's twisted like that? So you just want to roll the thread in the opposite direction to undo any twist that it might have. There we go. And you can make this loop any length that you like. I think that's a pretty good length there. And then you just want to come straight down into the other side, going underneath a couple of stitches there, and working this into the back of your snowflake and making sure that doesn't have a twist in it, and then just come back with another little stitch over top of that to secure it, and just like that. And there you go. And then you can just darn in your tail end. And next we're going to starch this. Now you can see here that I've already starched the small snowflake. So for this tutorial, this is the medium snowflake. And again, you just need a foam board of some kind, or cardboard, or a couple of layers of towel, something that you can pin into. And then I just put a cloth placemat to absorb the liquid. So see the recipe for the sugar starch in the description box below. And you just want to dip your snowflake into the starch solution. And it's very sticky. And just wring that out and get the excess liquid out, and just lay that down. And I just cleaned my fingers and started to lay it out. And so just start up with one of the top corners, and you do have to fuss quite a bit with this and shape it to look a bit like a crown. And you want that last round to look a bit like a crown, and then you can lay this out straight like that. I'll move the ball and speed this up a bit. So you want to work sort of in opposite directions, and this one is really fussy to shape, but just take your time and fiddle with it. And there we go, working in the opposite direction of each petal or flake or whatever you want to call it, and just fussing and working with it. This here, I'm going to make it more into a crown shape, and this one here too, I'm going to reshape this a little bit. And so there you go, and I think that looks pretty good. And now you just want to let this dry really well. Welcome back. So I let this dry overnight, and doesn't that look so pretty? I just love the way the starching shapes these snowflakes up so nicely. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe, because I've already done this tutorial here, but this one will be coming up soon. So hit the notification bell and you'll get notified when this one comes up. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.